Suave.
I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mentor. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different road, changed relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now
Use your Timberlands to practice. At first, I was like, nah. So then they started tweaking. They were like, nah, we need you to practice. So I practiced in my Timbs, number one. Two, the first time they tried to wild out even more, they brought some shoes, cut a hole in the front tip of them, and was like, okay? No, okay, no. We're not doing that. No.
Alrighty, guys, we're back with another episode of the What's in Your Bag podcast presented by Bet Online. As always, guys, before we get into the nitty gritty and introduce our special guest for today, man, I'm gonna go ahead and stop what y'all doing right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and stop what you're doing. Tap that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, drop a comment, give some feedback. We appreciate it. If you're hearing us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, follow the show, give us a 5-star rating, and goes a long, long way. As you guys can see, man, we're here in Beverly Hills, Flap Studios. So if you guys are in LA looking for a space to record, come check out Flap Studios, man. Great team, great production. And yeah, man, they do great work. But guys, without further ado, man, like I said, we have a wonderful, wonderful conversation on the way for you guys, a special guest, somebody who I've been working on, trying to get on the podcast for a while, man. So I'm glad that we can finally connect, get it done. This is somebody who is extremely, extremely talented. Somebody whose journey I respect a lot, just going from the overseas hooping to now being an entrepreneur and everything you and your sister is doing with Swish Cultures. So I'm incredibly pleased, honored, and happy to be joined by Jordan Richard, my guy. Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate you for having me. First off, the branding and everything, the way you said like and subscribe, I feel like I'm about to go ahead and smash that like button right now, right?
Hey, do that.
Thanks, but no, I appreciate it. I think, the good thing about it, you said that you've been reaching out. And, I always think about when we first started Swish and even just remembering the time where you hit people up and you want them to pull up. And a lot of times that don't happen.
Yeah.
And, like, you being an athlete and us being kind of in that same, like, brotherhood in a way.
Facts.
I was like, man, no matter what my schedule is, let me make sure I come out here and show support. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't know what people go through in that beginning phase, too. And it's such a grind and a journey. Like,
Man.
you need those pivotal moments to,
Indeed.
to do things and to help and to show love when people are just starting their stuff off. And, man, congrats on everything that you've been doing.
I appreciate it, man.
Yep.
I appreciate it, man. I got to show love to Ashton as well because obviously.
Shout out, sis.
Yeah, shout out, sis, man. She obviously came on the podcast as well. So it's only right, man, we get you on as well, bro. But obviously, before we get into the nitty-gritty, man, I want to ask you because obviously you do a podcast as well yourself, the Youngest Podcast, and shine light on a bunch of the young players coming up in today's game. I want to ask you, who would you say is your favorite young player coming up right now? And I don't want to hear Cooper Flagg or AJ DeBancer, the guys that everybody know about, man. Give me one guy that you think is like, hey, man, listen, if y'all know about this dude, you're going to hear about him in a few years for sure.
Man, you put me on this spot. I'm going to have to not say just one, but we can talk about one specifically. I want to shout out all the LA kids, number one. Jason Crow, I'm going to start off there. Inglewood High School. Elijah Arenas. Chatsworth High School. Taj Ariza. Westchester High School. Christian Collins. Brandon McCoy. St. John Bosco. But just the group I said, nowadays, everybody go to private schools. Nobody plays in L.A. basketball
Public schools you just named?
Huh?
Public schools?
Majority, except St. John Bosco, are public schools.
That's tough.
Yeah, like, back in the day, we didn't have, like, Fairfax, Westchester, all the Inglewood, like, those were our popping schools. And now a lot of kids don't really know about that no more. So the fact that they here still playing and not being on a crazy stacked team and doing their thing, I just want to give them their flowers because that's big time. And then, two, if I were to talk about a player that probably needs to be talked about enough, I feel like now he's being talked about because he had 60 and 58, Darren Peterson. Cold player. Is that prolific now? Works out with C.J. McCollum, Eric McCollum, shout out to them. But, man, just very talented, very creative, has a lot of game to him. from Ohio.
Yeah.
Pops played at Akron.
Yep.
Yeah, man, he just got it, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I just saw him play at Damon Lillard, all the top prospects, college and high school, and he in high school, and nobody could hold him. So it just, I got to show love to DP. He got game.
He going to Kansas, right?
Going to Kansas,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Nah,
And signed to Adidas. So time has changed now. Everybody getting the
high
NIL
school,
deals. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Nah, that's fire. Now, I want to ask you, obviously we're here in L.A., and you cover the Lakers a lot. What was your first reaction just when you heard the news, and then now kind of obviously being able to see Luka play for the Lakers? What do you think it's going to look like, for them going forward with Luka as kind of the head of the franchise now?
Man, I'm never going to. For me, like, it's been tough for me hearing the head of the franchise and stuff because it's Bron, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's Bron's team. I don't care what we say, what narrative
He on the way
we
out,
say.
though.
Huh?
He on the way out, though.
Yeah, when he's out.
Yeah.
But he not out. So, like, I don't understand why we keep talking like he's not on the team.
Yeah.
That is LeBron James' team.
Yeah.
We could try and spill it in any type of way, just being honest, but Bron is so cerebral, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he knows every single play when it happens, and he could change the pace of the game.
Yeah.
And not too many players could do that. And to be able to be a plug and play in the terms like playing through the elbow if Luka has the ball in his hands. Be a screen and roll man.
He's playing the 5 now.
That's what I'm saying at 40.
Yeah.
Like, and being able to do it. And, like, just what he's been able to do. So I want to start off there. But the Luka trade, number one, it was a shock factor because I never thought Luka would get traded.
Never.
And, I played in Slovenia my first year playing overseas. So a lot of Swish kind of goes back to the Luka days because I was hearing about him when he was playing. But we'll talk about that later. But
For sure.
AD, for me, I feel like he gets underappreciated because people say it's a heist, but it's not a heist. AD got so much talent.
Yeah.
And you saw game one what he did.
Yeah,
27,
there. Yeah,
7 assists.
4K.
Oh, you was there.
You
was there in 4K.
Facts.
So you seen it. And the place was
crazy.
rocking.
Yeah.
People was protesting. They probably went in to watch what was going on because there was commotion.
I seen an AD jersey when I first walked. I'm like, oh, you got an AD jersey? I'm
That's
like,
what I'm
dang,
saying.
it's temperature changing
So
already.
yeah, exactly. They were protesting in there, but they probably had a reversible on. So they definitely kind of came back in and were like, yo, AD kind of going crazy. God forbid I was sad that he got hurt, but man, AD has so much talent, and it's a lot of and playing with Bron and as a big, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And AD had a lot of his moments, I think, with Rondo in the sense of he get the lob, he spin and know the ball's up in the air.
Right.
I think didn't get a chance to get that, and I think people now are going to really, really, really appreciate his skill set for what it is because he's one of the most skilled players I've seen, and he's an animal on both sides of the ball, which I feel like is missing in this game.
Yeah.
And ain't too many bigs allowed to play at the elbow, be able to play at the post. Since when you see a big really get a post touch anymore?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like a mixture of AD my guy. So
For sure.
but on the Luka end, it's kind of crazy because I don't think people realize what it does for the game on a global scale.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Nah, I feel like it's going to be fun times, man, out here in L.A. being able to see that for a
Facts.
couple of years, especially with him and LeBron. He might have bought LeBron an extra year or two. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. We might get another year because of Luka being here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And how in LA too. I don't know how we come up with nicknames like Luka. I'm like,
Hey, that's a good one, though.
it's a great one. I ain't even gonna lie,
Luka.
Luka. I'm like, dang, already? I saw that. I'm like, bro, it's kind of crazy, man. So
Nah, yeah, that's fire, man. That his announcement for the starting 5 yesterday was crazy. Like when they called his name. And then obviously the Lakers doing the 77 T-shirts. They're showing him love, bro. They changed the Hollywood sign to 77, bro. Like he about to be him, Otani.
oh, that was real. I thought that was a Photoshop.
Nah, I mean, I seen on ESPN today they were talking about it. So unless we all got hoaxed, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if it was like
wow.
I don't think it's permanent. Maybe it was like a graphic that they made, but I know that like I feel like with him, Otani, Puka Nakua, like it's about to be a lot of stars, man. But I feel like even now with the Dodgers got obviously Otani and then another pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and then it's not another Japanese dude. It's like the whole Rui, obviously with the Lakers. It's like the whole world is like tuned into LA now. So I feel like this is gonna be great to be able to just be in the epicenter of that and kind of just see like the whole world. You know what I mean? Kind of watching LA. I wanted to ask you though because obviously you brought up LeBron and how cerebral he is and just I think just reminding folks a little bit just of what he still has in the tank. And you've been to a lot of practices. You go to all the media day practices, games. What's been the craziest thing you've seen Bron do, like, in practice? Maybe, like, not outside of a game that you like, yo, like, this dude is nuts.
For me, it's IQ. It has to be. I mean, for him, he know where 1 through 5 is going, and I think like in this game, like to be able to do that and to do it at this age, and then to be able to add more stuff to your bag, like we get the sidestep, he get the sidestep,
Yeah.
he doing the look down 3. I know that's his own joint. Then
People
he gets
still
the.
be getting caught off that joint, too.
That's what I'm saying. They
know
can't
it's
guard
coming.
it, bro. You know it's coming, and like you just can't. And like just seeing Bron like and the way he works.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a few times I go to the gym at 2 p.m. I know a lot of people saw the Netflix, but that's real. He in there 2 p.m. Probably get there at 1:30. He been doing that since he been here with the Lakers. From what I've seen, he probably did it a lot further. But seeing him come to the gym every day at 2 p.m. on a game day, and the game start at 7:30, and then seeing that, in the summer, him being the first one in the gym and being the greatest, I mean, that's what's more impressive to me, to still have that drive when you've accomplished everything and pretty much done it all.
Right.
And it still play at this level at that age. To me, I feel like more kids should see and look and find that aspect. Because a lot of people like the dynamics, the flash and all that, but it's a process to get there, and how do you get there? So seeing someone work like that, it just drives me to work because, you never know. Like, it's all that old saying, like, while you sleeping, somebody else working.
Oh,
you
God.
know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of mindset I get from Bron, and you can see that just by watch when you see a game. Even if you can't see hear what's going on, watch how he signals the players where to be at or where he's directing people to be at. Like, that just kind of just goes that he been in the film room and how cerebral he is, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
Yep.
For sure, man.
And, sorry, last thing.
No, yeah.
Working in small, condensed times for me. He can get a legit workout in 20 minutes. And I think that is efficient.
Very efficient.
Because you don't, shoot, he 40. He not going to be on the court out for an hour after practice.
Right.
So I've been able to admire, like, how he's been able to be efficient with his time, 20 to 30 minutes. And shout out Phil Handy because he's the first person to really teach me that, how you can get a workout and be efficient, get the full workout in 20 to 30 minutes, and then be done.
Yeah.
So that's been the dope part about Bron that I like.
No, that's fire, bro. I think it's awesome to be able to get an up-close look at it just to see kind of what goes into being great. You know what I mean? I want to switch gears a little bit to your journey, man, and kind of getting into what kind of brought us here today. So I kind of want to start with your basketball career, obviously, playing in college and then getting into the overseas journey. So for you, talk to me a little bit about, I guess, your pre-overseas days, college. I know you had a crazy journey as far as playing D2, JUCO, transferring the whole nine, and kind of just working at getting out the mud, you know what I mean, to kind of create a lane for yourself to get overseas. So talk to me about what that was like for you, because I feel like, obviously you had an extensive overseas career, and most people who play that long overseas, you be like, oh, well, you went to this school or you play at this level, and you know what I mean? So you don't see a lot of guys that have been able to really get it out the mud and make a career for themselves, a long career at that. So just talk to me about kind of what your mindset was when you were back in college and some of the things that you kind of had to go through to, make yourself a pro.
Yeah, it was kind of like the always I had to prove myself kind of. So it was kind of like a tough grind for me, like in high school. I mean, all the way up until college, because I was a late bloomer. I didn't really grow to this height until I was like my senior to
That's crazy.
my senior year, kind of like, to be honest. Like my junior year, I started really getting tall, but my senior year, and I was like the late developer. So kind of funny story. For me to go to Cal State San Bernardino, and Ivan Johnson was on the team at this time. He was on his way out. I got my first scholarship by going to Open Run.
That's hectic.
Yeah, so we went to Open Run.
That don't
Me and
happen
my
no more.
moms. That's what I'm saying. Like, me and my moms went to Open Run. I didn't have no looks, no nothing really, because I was just a late developer. And I did good the first run. They were like, pull up again. We, went to the second run, and then, man, shout out to moms because she was with it. But yeah, I got offered to Cal State San Bernardino, and I was the only freshman on the team. at that time. They just had their Final Four run in D2 at the moment. And then that was when I realized how good players were.
Yeah.
So kind of crazy. I played against Ivan my last 3 years of playing overseas. Ivan played with the Atlanta Hawks, had a long career. Played multiple, 4 to 5 years in NBA.
Yeah.
And has had a hell of a career overseas. And same with Brandon Brown. Just a lot of guys. But I did that, did D2. Just took the classes, did my classes, but wasn't doing the classes to graduate, doing the BS classes to get the A's. And then I ended up going to JUCO because I knew my ability because I was playing well my first year. And I was like, man, I want to go D1.
Yep.
But, in college at that time, your clock starts.
Yep, right away.
So, there's no now where you could just stop the clock.
Yeah.
And then you be a sophomore still. It's not that. So once your clock runs, it's already going.
Yeah.
So I went to D2. I went to Jerry Mullins camp, did well there, which is a top JUCO camp they used to have back in the day. And then I started getting offers like Sacramento State, TCU, and all that. But my clock started already. And I hurt my knee the year before, so I had a red shirt. So when I was going to go to D1, I would have already kind of been like a senior. And I didn't really have a time I was smart enough to know, you don't want to just go for 1 year and then you don't get the playing time and then it's over.
Right.
So I went back to Cal State LA, and, man, my coach at Cal State San Bernardino, he kind of laughed at me because you left us to go to a worse D2 in our same conference? Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had the D1s. I just didn't end up working out.
Right.
Went to Cal State LA with Stevie Thompson. Ethan Thompson, who's on the Orlando Magic, is his dad.
Okay.
Now he got his two-way with the Magic.
Yeah, I played against the older one that went to Oregon
Steven?
State. Yeah, Oregon State. Yep.
Yeah, so Steven and them, it's their dad,
Okay.
who played at Syracuse.
Yep.
We did that, and basically with me, man, I started realizing in order for me to play, I just had a really good shot blocking ability. My dad played overseas, played EuroLeague for several years, was a shot blocker. So, once I started growing into myself, I just was blocking everything.
Yeah.
And in my first year, I was coming off the bench, but I ended up breaking the single season record at Cal State LA, 78.
OD.
Yep. And then second year, I led all the D2 in blocks. I was averaging 4.5 blocks a game. And,
Crazy.
yeah, and I think I had in season maybe 140 or 130 or something like that.
That's hectic. That's ridiculous.
So
ridiculous.
That was my niche, and that's what took me to where I am today. Was me blocking shots and just dunking and doing that. And yeah, bro, it's kind of crazy just looking back at it because I look at how Swish starts now. I had a lot of the traits for it. I made my own highlight tape. That's how I got my agent, my first agent, saw my highlight tape. And
when you was in college.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had and then also I made a full game because I had 8 blocks against Cal State Northridge in a game. So I put that there, and then I made my highlight tape. And then that was kind of how I got my first deal. But up until 2 or 3 months before, after my college career was over, I don't know what I was doing. It could have been over, but I ended up getting blessed.
So you mentioned you got blessed in order to kind of get your first opportunity overseas. Talk to me about how that came about, because I feel like getting overseas, whether you're a Division I player or high major player, is tough because you got to go through trying to find the agent. I remember my first agent experience was crazy. I had a agent that I think he was from Slovakia or something, bro. I'm thinking I'm going to get a European agent because I'm trying to go play in Europe. So better to get one that's already over there and tapped in. Long story short, COVID hits, and bro ain't do nothing for me, bro. I'm hitting them up yo, what's the word? Oh, yeah, man, I'm talking to some teams. I'll let you know, if something comes. Don't hear from him for 3 weeks. Yo, what's the word? Oh, yeah. So long story short, end up firing him. I missed my whole rookie year dealing with that, and plus COVID was happening. So I ended up getting a new agent, and thank God I went to an exposure camp. He got me a first job offer in Costa Rica, and I was able to kind of build from there, you know what I mean? But it wasn't – if I would never fire my agent or took that leap of faith, that would never happen, you know what I mean, which was kind of crazy that I'm I'm thankful that God aligned and I was able to meet my new agent, and I've been able to play for 4 or 5 years now. But I'm intrigued to hear your story as far as how you kind of were able to get your first opportunity to go play.
Man, excuse me if I feel like I'm Big Sean, but I got blessed, bro. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like Neil with Summit Sports, that was like my first agent, and like he had Mike James,
Oh man,
which was crazy. Mike didn't do the, Mike had just kind of started off, which is kind of funny to me. Like, he went from D3 Italy and then went to Greece, and then went from Greece to EuroLeague in a matter of a month. So
I never knew that. That's ridiculous.
crazy. His story is probably one of the craziest I've seen.
Yeah.
And playing overseas, especially now, he's all-time leader in scoring like
Crazy.
in EuroLeague. But yeah, I honestly did because like I didn't have those experiences, but now that I've seen it with other players.
Yeah.
Man, I did an exposure camp. It was like the worldwide like sports camp, and there's a million exposure camps, number one.
Facts.
There's a lot that are just a hustle.
Phony.
To be honest. Yeah, super phony. You just there to like pay and that's it. But I think the biggest thing that I can say, is that I definitely got blessed, but for other players, because I want them to more so learn, is that exposure camps, first off, number one, ask around.
Yeah.
Like, if that's on the gram, anybody, like all the homies,
Yeah.
ask around, number one, because some of them have been to a camp,
Fact.
so they can tell you, right? Number two is there's a lot of camps that you might think of because of, the name,
Right.
and them camps be the worst ones, just being honest. There's like specific camps that you go to for that exposure.
Right.
That's the first thing. So we went to that. It was straight. I played cool. I didn't play like crazy. And then I got to Slovenia. It was, barely any money involved with it. The money was very low, but it was more the opportunity. And you're going to hear that word a lot when you play overseas. Like,
a lot.
man, it's an opportunity.
Facts.
Always. Now I wish I would not have taken so many opportunities, but
Yeah.
like some of the opportunities I did take was good. And
Right.
the Slovenian one was a crazy one for me, but man, it was dope. I was on Beno Udrik's team that year, and then Samu Udrik was on the team.
He was on the team, or he was like,
Beno was like the owner of the
Oh,
team.
okay. I'm about to
His
say,
brother
that's hectic.
Samu was on the team.
That's fire.
Yeah, so man, tough experience my first year though, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
is this when you first heard about Luka?
First heard about Luka. So number one, like over there, basketball tough. Number one, like there's a lot of like elements of like overseas basketball that I was like in a culture shock with. Number one,
Yeah.
right as soon as I landed, my phone didn't work. Number one, so I couldn't find like the person to like take me to the air. Like
Yeah.
we didn't hear nothing. You know how it is in Europe. Like sometimes like people ain't really rushing to like figure out a solution.
Yeah, nah.
So, bruh, like, I ain't even gonna lie, the first time I left there, I didn't have Wi-Fi in my apartment for 2 days, and my phone didn't work. So, honestly, I cried low-key. I'm like, bro, like, I'm by myself. I don't know what's going on. Nobody speak no English. I'm not in Ljubljana, where Luka from.
Yeah.
I'm, like, in the trenches somewhere. So, I'm like, food wasn't, like, what I'm accustomed to, too.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, so like,
Facts.
and I'm used to being in LA. I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, so I low key cried, bro. And then, I honestly, I really do not care. The first year, the first couple months, I struggled. I got cut my first year. Well, not my first year, my first experience. So I was there. The first game I played well, I had like, I think I even have like the article. It was like I had like 28 points, 8 blocks, 9 rebounds, crazy game.
OD.
Soon as I went into the locker room it was the next day following the practice. We had like a little shoot around. He was like, "Yo, Jordan, like only black shots and rebound. We don't need you to score." Like that's what was told to me. So like that kind of messed with me because I was like, man, like y'all don't want me to score. Like no, we don't need you to do that. Like players is mad. Like So I was like, okay. So then that kind of messed with me. So I started playing a little whatever. And then next thing you know, they bring my replacement in. They have us play one-on-one too. Crazy.
One-on-one
Facts.
is crazy.
Like, honestly, bro, my first overseas stint, I thought it was over. I thought it was like a couple months and I'm back to the crib, right? Um, but you know, kind of crazy. I'll never forget when I did get released. Ud and Samu at the time, who used to be hard on me and kind of was like, I didn't think he really rocked with me. He was like, hey, like, you're gonna have a fine career. You're gonna so I got cut and then I got signed at a place in Israel. And he was like, you gonna do straight, you gonna do all right. Like when you go, like, just be confident in yourself. Man, I get to Israel. Yeah, and then the first year, man, I mean, I had a good career. I ended up leading the league in blocks. My homie Vern Till, shout out to VT, who's now around, one of my like close friends. We played together, and then shoot, I had an 8 to 9 year career after playing in Slovenia my first year. But yeah, bro, dealing with all that and just the stress, and I think after that, I was always stressed of being cut, no matter where I went.
Yeah.
And man, it was tough, bro.
That's real. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't talk about, man. Is like overseas is different than the NBA because you can get waived in the NBA, but I feel like overseas is really places where you go and you could be there a week and they will pack you up, bro. Like less than that sometimes, bro. You know what I mean? There's spots in the Middle East. You go out there, you go to the Middle East, you know what I mean, a month, maybe less. Bye. I think it's hard, man, to be able to play and perform under those circumstances. And then you also got to deal with, like you might mention, I know I've heard some places like South America. You go to South America, the apartment all situation messed up. They got you in some hotel, no hot water, no Wi-Fi. You like, yo, what am I doing? I was playing in Costa Rica, and we was playing in one of them gyms where, like, the roof, it was a roof, but then it was no, like, walls for real. So, like, when it would rain, it would be, like, damp on the court. Dudes ice skating, falling all over the place. It was crazy, bro. My man Ike Udano, he was telling a story about when he was in Uruguay. The floor was so bad, they would, like, pour Coke on the floor so that their shoes would stick. It's like, these are some of the conditions that dudes are dealing with overseas, man. So, do you have any, like, I guess, what's the one thing I guess sticks out to you? You like, yo, like, this is real life, man, like, when it comes to the overseas? Because I feel like it's a bunch of different just crazy moments that I can think of in my career. I'm just like, man, it's a great blessing.
I don't know, like, what is my best one, because it's honestly so many. I'll never forget my second year I played in Italy. Our bags got lost, right? Man, and I wear 17, number one, so they ain't got the kicks there. So Josh is going to laugh, too, when he hear this story, my teammate over there. No lie. We didn't get, like, a week goes by. We still ain't got our bags. They ain't got no shoes for the kid. We ain't got no Amazon. I don't know at that time. I guess we didn't have Amazon, so. Bro, first off, I had some Timberlands that I brought with me. So they were like, use your Timberlands to practice. At first, I was like, nah. So then they started tweaking. They were like, nah, we need you to practice. So I practiced in my Timbs, number one. Two, the first time they tried to wild out even more, they brought some shoes, cut a hole in the front tip of them, and was like, okay? No, okay, no. We're not doing that. No, I'm not playing with the front of my shoes.
They dropped the top on your kicks?
Dropped the top on that joint, right? Bro, take the top off the joint, all that, bro. Like, it was like a convertible or something. Nah, we not doing that. So, I had to practice in Timbs. If I probably would have said to play in the friendly game in the Timbs, they probably would have let me do it. I'm definitely not doing that. I had a few practices in some Timbs, for sure.
Yo, how did you do that? Could you move?
We was in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, after the Slovenia experience, I was like, it's never happening again, no matter what. Like, and Israel is tough, too, because a lot of people get cut. And I don't think people realize, all right, so when you go overseas, you have contracts. Right. Yes, you do. But the problem is that the amount of time it takes for you to fight for that, you getting cut or fight for that money, like, it ain't even worth it. And the amount of money you spend on a lawyer to get that, it's not going to even be worth it. So a lot of people just get, come to terms with some type of agreement, and then they get paid, that way to leave.
Something
Instead
less.
of gaining something, your full amount, you get less. But always people tell you is like, you got to go to the next one. Do not take a year off because that's like a death year.
Yeah.
When you take a year off and wait, it's hard to it's like you start from ground zero again because then people are like, why did he not play? He not in shape. All these different aspects, it sucks to it. So, so that's just kind of the grind, bro. You got to fight through a lot of adversity and a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And that was my whole journey playing overseas. And then I got hurt. I hurt my knee my first year in Italy, and they told me that I had a bruise. And I ended up coming home, and I had a torn meniscus. And I played with that for maybe 7 months.
Torn meniscus.
And I couldn't bend my knee. I knew something was wrong. I could barely bend my knee, and that ended up being the injury that took me out. Later on down the road in my career, was the meniscus.
Crazy.
Yeah.
First of all, I gotta dap you up because I never heard no practicing in Tim's.
Practicing the Timmys, boy. I was like Patrick Beverly, but not in the sand. We was out there in the floor. We practicing the Timmys. Sure.
Yo, I'd have had a bunch of overseas hoopers on the pod. I've never heard that before. So
practicing Tims, no lie.
That's
Josh,
crazy.
If you watching, my boy, you know what it is. We definitely did it. We was in the trench work.
Oh,
Bags gone for sure.
Wait, did you ever find the bags?
They ended up pulling up.
All right,
maybe
eventually.
Two weeks later.
Eventually.
But yeah, the Timmys was in there.
Hey, shout out Timberland, man. No cat. Hey, maybe y'all can make some hoop shoes. You know what I mean? Send them my
Tim's
boy
was
way.
crazy. Shoot, my mom probably don't even know that story. I don't even think I was told that one. So that was good that,
For sure.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get into Swish now because obviously you mentioned a little bit how you kind of made your own highlight tape when you first were trying to get overseas. And Ashton had mentioned when you guys were first starting Swish, you mentioned how you were over there and you're like, dang, man, I wish there was somebody that was kind of giving these guys some shine, this and that. But I want to hear from your perspective, what was going through your mind when you decided to kind of start Swish? And I feel like I relate to it a lot because when you're over there, it's kind of at least for me, in my perspective, when you're overseas, bro, it's an element of you're out of sight, out of mind. So my mind's always turning about how can I find a way to stay connected to America? How can I find a way to keep my name moving? How can I find a way to when I come back home, I have a digital resume of some sort to show people that I can work and that I'm doing things. I'm not just hooping. And you, like you say, you played 9 years. So it's you look at a college degree, you graduate, you go 9 years without working. It's oh, you know what I mean? So I kind of want to talk to you about your journey and starting Swish. Where did that come from? And then what do you remember just about those early days getting it started?
Kind of, first off, dope question. I would say the beginning phase is just kind of thinking back about my journey. Number one, I did a lot of stuff with Cassie Athena with Through the Lens. So I was always doing stuff with video, but never thought I would do a Swish. Never. That was never a thought process. But I think going back to overseas is just I remember when I first got to Slovenia and then TV, they really had cable, but we had the EuroLeague station somehow.
Yeah.
And turning on the TV, seeing, Boban and, guys like that ended up coming over to the NBA, Marcus Williams, Spinolis, who's big time now that everyone speaks about. And remembering and seeing the culture, I think my first game that I saw on TV was a Red Star. And I'm like, it's popping.
Facts.
And everybody knows about it now because of social, but
right.
And then hearing about Luka when he was 14, 15, and hearing that he's going to be the next, Michael Jordan or LeBron, and me thinking oh, these guys is out their mind.
Yeah,
a player from Slovenia coming out?
Yeah,
y'all talking, okay. He going to be better than who? All right. But then my journey started going on, and I start following players' journeys, and I'm and then every year for me, I didn't have no, I was, like you say, getting out the mud, I'm making all my own highlight tapes every season. And, my homies would be like, bro, make me a highlight tape. I ain't got nothing to show the homies back at the crib.
Yeah.
Let's put that music on there because we didn't have no, music library.
Facts.
So some of that joint might get flagged down, but at least we had the tunes on there.
Right, you're right.
So I remember doing that, and then one day, man, and this is literally how it happened. I was cleaning up my room, bro, and then I had a daydream about Swish. And it was yo, I think it'll be a good idea, hit some of the homies up, told them the idea, told Ashton, and and then when you tell the homies, they're yeah, but they don't really believe in it. So I'm all right. So we, end up starting Swish, and I never forget, I was playing in Bahrain at this time, And I really realized how locked in I was. November that year, we went out to Morocco, and I probably did our first Swish video there. And I didn't go to no parties, no nothing. I just was in the room editing a full game footage. There was no highlights sent to me.
Yeah.
I was editing a full game, like know how to chop it down, like full game, and I posted a highlight, and then the dude was like, "Yo, this is hard." And it's like small wins. You get what I'm saying? Like, and from there, we would make posts, and it would be like guys like Marshawn Brooks, Bobby Brown, and like we didn't have no big following at this time. Man.
You were just making the highlights.
We making the highlights, and then like people didn't know, man. That would a long way for us. Like just seeing a dude like Marshawn and then put the flame emoji on there.
Yeah.
Like to me, that kind of showed me we had something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we always have gone organic. I have never bought a follower a day in my life. I'm not paying for no viewership, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dope seeing that people really rock with where we are now. But
100%.
during that time, it was overseas guys that got it to where it is now because they would comment and do something, or you get like D-Lo commented on a few posts of some of his homies, and it just like, to me, I was like, man, we might have something. Then we had like 800 followers to like 1,000, and then EuroLeague started following us. I was like, oh, we on.
Yeah.
We on now. They see what it is. We outside. And we wasn't really getting no viewership like that. It was good like amongst the overseas community, but yeah, like I just remember that. And I'm like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? This could be something. And then really what happened is I knew after I got hurt, I always told myself, like, you're going to have to figure out, because, at this time my knee was really bothering me. And I was just like, man, I don't know how much longer I can play, but I was like, I'm going to stop playing video games and taking naps. You do that all the time? OD when you play overseas. So I was like, I just want to put my time towards something else. And then I started telling some homies, like, yo, can you do some camera work for me while I'm overseas? Like, yeah, let's do it. No action. So I was like, man, I'm about to go on YouTube. And then there was this program called Linda.
Okay.
Like, LinkedIn is kind of partnered with them now.
Yeah.
So I was just watching tutorials the whole time and then just learning how to shoot. And, Cassie would give me some hints on how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, learn how to do stuff on Final Cut. And, then we got back. So I get back in April. No, May. I hit up Olin. And I was like, yo, this is what we're doing with Swish. He's like, oh, yeah, I've seen some of y'all videos. Like, yeah, pull up. Man, first video I ever did, and, like, recording-wise was, I haven't been messing around here and there because I got a camera at this time. And, but I recorded Imani Glenn and Charisma Osborne. That was the first video I ever did with Olin. So we weren't in the trenches.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting to it. All the top athletes. No. So I just wanted to show, like, I was of worth and of value, and also that I can practice on.
Right.
Because I don't want to be in a fire and then not know what the heck I'm doing.
Right.
So did that. I was doing some crazy stuff on videos, bro. I was like showing skeletons, making people disappear, doing all type of stuff, doing a mix, like all type of crazy stuff on a highlight that shouldn't have been on the highlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he started rocking with us, and then I'll never forget Chris Gatson, who was De'Aaron Fox's trainer at the time. He was like, man, you black. I like what you're doing. Like, I want to give you opportunity. So I had I had Fox. We had Landry Shamet. We had Lonnie Walker's pre-draft, right? So I was doing videos over there. Mind you, I lived in Rancho Cucamonga. I was driving 2 hours every single day, sleeping in my car, just being honest. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. Because if you're going every single day and you paying for a hotel every day, this doesn't make sense.
None.
And I didn't have no homies in the valley, really, so I was just literally sleeping in my car doing and moving around. It's no lie.
Yeah.
And I really don't care, like, what people think. That's
the
the grind.
Yeah.
So then we had Shay's pre-draft. Joe at the time, Shai Was. We started doing some stuff with them, and Shay was not I mean, he played the same way,
Yeah.
and we saw the ability,
Right.
and they were like, yeah, like Shay's coming in. We really don't do the camera stuff like that, but we want to give you opportunity. So shout out Joe, shout out Dad, and they gave me opportunity with that, and then I linked up with my homie was with Chris Johnson, and then when our partner Ant he plugged Phil Handy. He knew Phil Handy through some stuff that they had did in the Bay.
Yep.
And I got linked up with Phil Handy while I was here, and I had told Phil what we were doing, and then he was like, "Man, I love it. It's dope. Like I bet you could film Tristan." So that's how I met Chris Johnson. So mind you, I'm doing all this stuff at the time,
Right.
building it up. People starting to see like as a reference, like okay, he can record, do some stuff.
Right.
And man, I'll never forget this time. So I linked with Phil, I linked with Tristan Thompson at the time, and then I linked up with Luke Newton. Shout out Luke. I'm gonna be honest with you, Luke, you was swaggy. I didn't know you was an agent, my boy. Like you came in with the off-whites. I used to always comment on his off-whites, always. So Tristan, we had Tristan the first day, and I used to always comment on his off-whites. It was dope. And, fast forward, we do the workout. Phil loves it. He's like, pull up tomorrow. Like, I might have a workout. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, who is it? Just pull up. Pull up the next day is KD and D Wade. I'm like, bro. Mind you, I just got a new camera, a little Sony joint. I was like, bruh, praying. The lens kind of shifted the opposite way from the Canon. I didn't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm like, Lord, please, if we make it out, we good. Like, if we make it out, we good. Filmed that workout, it was straight. And then this is all happening in weeks, like the last couple of weeks. And then Drew Holiday, I grew up with them, just knowing them. And then Drew showed us love and was like, yo, I like what you're doing. We're going to help you out. Any workouts you want to come to, we can do that. And we were doing a lot of stuff with Mike Penberthy at the time, just doing like their summer work. It was like Justin and Drew working out with Frank Jackson and all them.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it blew up. I mean, we were doing well. I mean, it did solid. I go back to play overseas. A lot of people didn't know that. I was working out during the time.
Yeah.
Fast forward to come back during the summer. Then we have the Ben Simmons, the Devin Booker double team. AD comes into town with Mike Penberthy and Mike G. Mr. Do a Movement.
Yep.
Do a Movement, who we did stuff with. He's in Houston now, but, still fam.
For sure.
And kind of building that foundation with your first group of people, and then knowing that when you come back, let's start where we finish. We want to keep going. We right back at it.
To it.
Yeah, and that's how I met A. That's how I met Mike James through all that. I met, D-Book, Ben, all of them, man. And the biggest focus was just more so not showing the athletes in a bad light. And we've always stuck with that.
Yeah.
People have always tried to have us go and do whatever, but never once. But, yeah, that's kind of a lot, but, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of it. Yeah.
Nah, that's a hell of a story, man. I feel like from then to now, you guys have done a bunch of incredible stuff, man, just working with the NBA. And, like, obviously now you guys are doing the All-Star Weekend collaboration, Team Swish, man. Talk to me about that, man. Like, what are you most looking forward to? 'Cause that's OD. Y'all on some GM vibes, man. I got a dope squad, man. Josh Christopher, Dink Pate, my boy in DC, Justin Champagne. You know what I mean? I got some dogs on y'all mind, man. So just talk about that.
Man, for me, bro, like just getting an opportunity to do anything, dog, it's big time for me. And Ashton and Swish, I don't take none of this for granted. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the opportunity to do it, I know a lot of people don't get it. And, just to see like Josh from high school and Dink, someone that I, watched his journey, it was just dope that I can be able to, draft him. For me, that meant a lot. Like more than you see on there, like for me, it means a lot to me because I remember when Josh was at Mayfair and shoot, we shot a pool workout. The homie thought he had a pool camera, but it wasn't a pool camera. He put that mug in the water. That mug didn't come back on. We didn't get no underwater footage of him dribbling in there. Like I just remember those moments of like seeing Josh do that and then seeing Dink, where he is, Moses Brown. So for me, man, it was a big deal for me,
Yeah.
like being able to do that and be a part of it. And I mean, I just thankful for it. It was dope. We better win it too. By the way,
Got to.
we got the team to win it, and hopefully Dink, which I know he will. Dink gets drafted where he belongs, and he's gonna be a first round pick. I'm adamant of that.
For sure.
So, yeah, bro. For me, man, this is big, dog. For me,
yeah.
I'm definitely thankful for it. Yeah.
What would you say if I know this, I'll put you on the spot. It's a tough question.
I can see. Yeah.
What would you say is the one thing you guys have done with Swish that you're most proud of?
We haven't folded. A lot of people quit. It's a tough grind, man. People have no idea how much I've driven in the car. Shoot, when I first had the Altima, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I would drive down the street because I didn't want people to see the car I was in. You know what I'm saying? And for me, just being here and not doing like all the negative and doing that and trying to look out for the athletes, for me is big because, it's showing other people that they can do it too. I think that's my biggest thing. That's why when I go in the interview room, I try and ask the best question I can because I know that it ain't too many of us that get this opportunity. As you know, and you in those rooms now, like a lot of times, man, you get caught on last.
Yeah.
So I got to make it count. You know what I'm saying? So when the next person that come in that look like me, that don't got a suit on, could come in there and do it too. I think that's important for me, man. So that's my biggest thing for us is it's not folding, making sure we do it organically, have a small team, which it is. I mean, we want to get a big team, but show people that you can do it the right way because everyone thinks you got to come in here and be like, oh, yeah, that player's trash.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Keep saying that player trash. You're going to see him in a little bit,
Yeah.
and that player ain't going to rock with you.
Not at all.
Then you're going to be sick
Yep.
because you ain't going to have no relationship. So when it's time for you to do your job and do an interview, they're going to say no.
Right.
So that's big time. And even for the athletes, man, I just honestly want to talk to them like, y'all can help so many people more than you think. By y'all letting them record, by you giving the person an interview that you see is like you, like, take that time, man, because it goes a long way to people, man. Like, I didn't really realize that until later. Like, for us, I was like, shit, I'm just going to get out the mud any way I can. But now looking back at it, I'm like, there's moments that people could have helped in. Having Drew and people like that help us and do that, like, goes a long way. And I think hopefully athletes can see that they could help the homies out. Because a lot of times they might not help the homie and then they end up helping somebody else. Yeah. They're just like, bro, like, all you had to do was
could have helped me.
Yeah, and like people don't even need no bread, no nothing.
Right.
Like you just help them just do it. Like
even a repost, something small.
Yeah,
repost
exactly.
Go a long way.
Exactly.
I want to ask you, man. Last question I got for you, bro, because I feel like you're staple, man. Them voiceovers you been doing over the highlights, man. And I seen the one on your IG when D-Lo was like, hey, ain't you Swish Cultures? Yeah, I recognize that voice, man. I feel like the voice that's stamped now. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
It was funny. We was on the phone the other day. I thought we was talking, and I was like, "Yo, you sound just like you sound when you do the voiceover. It's crazy." But I just want to get your take on that, man. Like, where did that come from? The flavor, like, because I feel like that's been dope. I feel like that's something that's like very authentic to you. And Swish.
Man, voiceover. Funny situation. I'll never forget. I did a voiceover. My first ever one I did was Ty Lue. Ty Lue didn't advance the ball with Reggie Jackson. I'll never forget it. He didn't advance the ball. They were up. They were up one. So I'm thinking they're going to waste the clock out. They don't advance it. They throw it back. Reggie, mind you, it's like 20 seconds left on the clock. Reggie this against Washington. He does a full sprint with the ball, drives baseline, throws it to the corner, then throws another corner pass, 3, game over. They win it. And they end up going up 4. But I ain't never seen someone do that in that type of situation. It was weird to me. That usually, like, people just wait and then wait to get fouled. But they do that and they win the game. So I'm like, only way I could do it is do a voiceover. So I did it. That was my first one. And then I did the Imani Bates tape. And then I'll never forget the homie Dino was like, yo, Jay, like, your voiceovers have no seasoning on it, right? Like, you don't even talk like that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, after that, I was like, you know what? You right, low-key. I don't really talk like that. So after that, bro, I just was like, I'm just gonna talk how I talk,
Yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
and that's it, bro. And man, D'Lo don't know, man. Like that moment for me was a lot, man. Those small wins always, because for me, like, just getting someone to like kind of do that and show love to me on a platform like the Lakers, that meant a lot. But yeah, the voiceovers, man, I do not write the voiceovers down like at all.
Off the dome, huh?
I can't. I mean, like the cadence, they
Yeah.
play too fast.
Right.
You gonna just have me look at a piece of paper and be like, all right, yo, so D'Lo, he does this, in and out, step back to the hezzy. Like, I'm not gonna be able to read that, and then the game going on,
Right.
I ain't gonna be able to go hand in hand with that. So, it's just been something that I've honestly just been doing. I give my best every time. So even with Low, like, we got to load the PlayStation. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, he loans his name. That's how I think. Then, like, the PlayStation, you know what I'm saying? We got the black controller because he with Brooklyn.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how I think, like, all the time. So, for me, it just being authentic. And I wanted to be able to teach the game and then also, like, do it in a way that's funny and how I always talk and be myself.
Yeah.
Talk that way. So, it's been dope, bro.
That's OD, man. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on, bro. And I feel like I told you this before, off air, but I always want to let people get, have their flowers, why they can smell them while you're here, man.
Appreciate it.
You've definitely been somebody who I've looked up to a lot, man, just as an athlete who's gone to this media space and made it something that's incredible, man. So I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, man, because there's people who you don't even know that's watching you, man, and that really look up to what you and Ashton as well are doing.
Appreciate it.
Both of you guys are doing incredible things, especially to be able to see another, black brother, in the rooms, in these rooms, doing the things at a very high level, man. So, thanks to you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, man. I look forward to seeing everything you do from here on out, man. I know it's only the beginning.
Appreciate it. And I got a question for you, but even before I leave, there's a lot of people, not even just black, just in different ethnic backgrounds, that I look in the room and I don't, ain't too many of them. You know what I'm saying? And, for me, like, if you got the chance, make sure you do help that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for you, I came from Clippers. You told me the time. I was like, yo, I got to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I told you before, like, it's about showing love to each other and helping each other. I think there's a lot of fake love, and we don't help each other, and I want to put the end of that.
Yeah.
I know it's always going to be here, but at least I can help any way I can, and, just seeing how we don't all have that opportunity, and there's not a million of different ethnic backgrounds in those rooms. So, hopefully we get a chance to see that, and we help each other do that, and then, for you, what you doing this podcast, I'd like to ask you more so, like, for you, how has been your journey with the pod from your first episode until now? How much have you grown? Because I know you've grown because of that intro I heard. But how have you seen the growth of that, and how has it been getting your podcast off and getting players on for you?
Yeah, man. I think it's been a process, like you said. You know what I mean? I think the biggest thing was just starting. That's the hardest thing, is just to start, because people got all these great ideas in their mind, but just starting. Even if you don't have, like, the studio and the setup. We was doing the Zoom podcast, and we didn't have no really graphics or setups, but we started and we had the conversations, and people was noticing and seeing it and just not quitting. You know what I mean? Like, that's been the biggest area I think we've been able to grow, is just continue to be persistent and just keep showing up and keep knocking on doors and, like, continuing to be like, you know what, like, I'm not doing this for the views or for whatever. Like, I think the thing that I value the most about this is the relationships and then the conversations. Like, obviously we're putting these podcasts out so people can learn and people can be inspired, but I've learned so much more just from sitting across from people like yourself and the incredible other athletes that we've had coming on here that have helped me, in my journey. So I think as far as getting people on and getting players, I think it's always been just about relationships, like you guys know with Swish as well. People who I've played with or, rub shoulders with, a friend of a friend, getting recommendations and things like that. It makes it easier. But I think at the end of the day, man, the biggest takeaway or area that I've grown is just taking my eyes off of, like, oh, you have this many followers, or your clip got this many views, your episode got, reached this many people, and just being like, you know what? I'm doing this because I'm going to have an incredible conversation. The people who I'm sitting across from, I'm going to learn from. Even if it reaches 100 people and 5 people are like, you know what, I love that interview, I'm going to learn something from it, then I did my job. You know what I mean? So just reframing my mind for that and just understanding why I'm doing this and to help people and to inspire people. And it's like, even if this podcast gets 10 views, right? But if 2 people can look at this and be like, you know what, I can be the next Jordan Richard, or I can sit across from here and have my own podcast, like What's in Your Bag, then I did my job.
Man, I mean, that's everything, I think. And 2, what Drew's saying, like, that don't mean, half do the job.
Yeah.
Number 2.
That part.
Like, as long as you give your best and you really tried your hardest in doing it, like, it's going to be fine. And being consistent, that's, like, another big thing. But, like, you doing that, and that's the same mindset I have. If it reaches one person, that one person is going to tell someone else, and then that ends up how it becomes a domino effect and you have more. So, yeah, bro, have that mindset. I just wanted to ask you because I seen how you did your intro, and I was, like, intrigued because I was like, man, I need to borrow my intro a little bit more. I think I'm going with the sound effects and all that, but the way you hit that, I knew I could see the growth there. So I want to show you some love on that, too.
I appreciate
my
that,
dog.
bro, for real,
Always
man.
love, bro.
Last question before we got the door,
sure.
man.
For sure.
Who's the next person we should have on the What's in Your Bag podcast? But before you answer, you got to get in your point guard Jordan bag and give us the assist and help us get him on the show.
We going Luka assist, like no look pass to the corner.
You know what I mean? It could be Luka assist. It could be the lob to the You know what I mean? Whatever type of assist, man. But who's somebody that
you already had
Ash. Yep.
Man, that's a great question. Let me think. You know what? I'm gonna go my dog from Adidas. I'm gonna go Miles. Miles had he had a basketball career, played overseas. He's doing a great job on the Anthony Edwards project.
Yeah.
And he actually hooped. And I think it's just key for other athletes that played overseas to see that they can go into this sports world.
Facts.
Because a lot of times I've seen a lot of athletes quit and stop when they get here or get to the NBA and do personal development. Like, they got to be able to see, like, okay, there's people that made it. These are great stories of people who have made it from playing overseas. So I'm going to go Miles, because Miles went crazy. He did a lot of the Anthony Edwards campaign, all the commercials you've seen.
Fire.
And that's another overseas bro, so
yeah.
I say that.
It's a great shot. All right, man. I'm gonna hold you accountable, man. We're gonna try to make that happen, bro.
Yep.
But again, man, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate
Always
it.
A pleasure. I know I'm gonna see you at the top, brother.
My dog.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
gang,
you, bro.
gang.
Yep.
This has been another episode of What's in Your Bag podcast. Like I said, guys, remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, it goes a long, long way. Until next time, folks. Peace.
Suave. I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mentor. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different route, change relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now